Hello, welcome to Shiny Tree Trash, and today we're going to turn something plain and boring like this white t-shirt to something spectacular and jazzy and standing out like this, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so if you are still in lockdown, perhaps you're bored, we've got the summer holidays ahead of us, and you want something to do that's cheerful and bright and fun and fantastic, then I'm going to introduce you to tie-dye. So what you're going to need is some plain white t-shirts. I've got a kit here, but we'll go through the kit and we'll discuss what you could use instead of having a kit if there isn't one available. So let's open this up. Okay, so in the kit we have some instructions. We have 5 tie-dye bottles, fabric dye in there. We've got a small packet of soda ash, which is going to be an agent that you apply to the fabric to help the absorbency of the dye. We've got some rubber bands and some gloves. Okay, so let's get started. I've got here some plain t-shirts. We're just going to use one at a time. Now the fun thing about tie-dye is that it's kind of random and you can't go wrong. We've got some rubber bands here. If you don't have rubber bands at home, then don't worry, what you could use is some cotton or some string instead. Now the fun thing about tie-dye is that there's loads of different things that you can do. So we're going to go through some of the tying methods right now. Okay, so the fun thing about tie-dye is that you can do lots of different methods to create the resist. And the resist is where you put the rubber bands. Where the rubber bands are, it will form the creases, and if you bind the fabric tight enough, then it'll leave white spaces, or whatever your ground fabric is will not be absorbing the dye, because the rubber bands or the thread or the string, whatever you are using to bind it, will prevent the dye from being absorbed. So you can just do it random. The fun thing about tie-dye is that you have to kind of give up some of that element of control. You can kind of design the pattern or the randomness of it, and you can choose the colours, but you can't control it completely, and that's the fun bit about it. So if you've got OCD, then this might be something that's a nightmare for you, but why not give it a go anyway. So just by randomly pinching the fabric, it creates natural creases, in the garment, and that's what's going to control or kind of influence the dye. My rubber bands are breaking quite easily. It's 15 a pack, so we should be okay. I'm going to just tie this one off. So you can do something like that. I'm going to put this to one side because I am going to dye them all together. So I'll show you another technique now. So as if by magic, here's another t-shirt. And we'll do the folding method. So you can just concertina your t-shirt up like you're plaiting it. So it looks like that. So it's just folded like a fan. I've actually got myself some bigger rubber bands here because I'm finding that the small ones in the pack are just breaking. You can put as many rubber bands in as you like. You can make them even. You don't have to make them even. That's why it's such a good thing maybe to do with the kids if you've got kids at home. It's also a good thing to do if you may have a stain on something and you want to disguise it. So it's really good for upcycling. So a really good thing for reusing old things. You don't have to do it with clothing. You can do it with bags. You could do it with table linen. So really be adventurous with this. It is better though with the dyes to use cotton or natural fibres like linen. If you're interested, if you put in the comments below, I can do another video showing you more techniques, because there's lots of things that you could do, like making them into shapes, so you can start to produce like heart shapes. We can do it with the string and the thread, so you can see the difference. It's an Indian technique where you use really fine thread and just wrap it that way. I'm going to put one last one up here. So that's the folding method. Folded like a fan, and it looks like a big long sausage. So again, like the other one, we'll put that to one side because we'll do the dyeing together in the next video. Okay, so I've got one more here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a swirl design. So I'm going to just flush my t-shirt again at you. So my t-shirt, as you can see, it's circular here, and that's because my t-shirt was pinched from here and gathered up. So I'm going to show you this method now, and that's really easy. Just decide where you want your central bullseye. You might want it central. I think it works better off centre, and if you're a lady, you don't want it focusing on your bust, or some might. I'm going to start it here. So all you do is you pick up your midpoint of where you want your bullseye to be, and you just gather everything up from that point. You take your rubber bands again, and you just start to bind. The tighter they are, the more resistant that area under the rubber band is going to be for the dye to get to, and it'll be white in that area if your fabric is white. If your fabric is slightly rubbish rubber bands, if your t-shirt already has a colour, then it'll be that colour that grins through. Having a pale white is obviously going to work better. It's going to show the dyes up better. But I think play with it, you know, try a pale grey, pale yellow. I think pastel colours would work. There we go. And you just work along in that way. The tighter the better. I'll do that one more time. Let's try it. Yes. There we go. Get in there, we're nearly there. Just got the arms to do. Gonna go work from the other side now. Might be easier. Ooh, it's gone. Okay, so if it goes, don't worry about it. You can leave it in place and just carry on binding over the top of it. This is where string or thread might be better to use. Nearly there, nearly there. One more, I think. Got one more. Hopefully it won't break. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. Oh, it's gone. No, is it broken? No. Phew. Right, another couple. Stick with me. There we go. So we've got 5 colours in the pack. We have got the primary colours: red, blue, and yellow. And then we've got green on top of that, and I think a purple. Okay, so I could do rainbows. Make like a rainbow one. Look kind of suitable for this time of year, all festival like. You could do it just using one dye and you'll have like the tonal value of that colour. So you could do it just with reds and it'd go into pinks and things like that. You might use colours that are close together on the colour wheel, so maybe like blues and greens together. Or you could use red with the yellow to make orange and keep it sort of all close together on the colour wheel. So we're going to discuss that in the next video, and I'm going to show you how to dye the fabrics. But I'm just going to bring back into camera shot the 3 methods that we've just done very quickly, and then we'll review how that's done. So we've got the pinching method here. Here we've got the folding where you pleat it like a fan, and it looks very similar to this one, but this is where we gathered it from one central point like this t-shirt and just gathered it up, and we'll get like a bullseye effect. So 3 different ways, all very exciting to see what's going to happen. So please join me in the next video, and in between that time please thumbs up if you like this video. It's really important for me to know what you think, so please leave comments below, subscribe, and share this video for other people so they can figure out how to do really fun things over the summer holiday ahead of us. Thank you. Bye.